Billy D here, and this is your weekly buzz, and I've been thinking about doing this buzz for a long time. I've got some very, very special guests. I've got the Grateful Dead here, we've got the Live Wire, and we've got a Chili Pepper here tonight. We're going to talk about the state of the schools, the chiropractic schools. You know, I pop off a lot, and only because, you know, I went to school and I paid a lot of money to go to school, and I just don't feel that I got really a chiropractic education. I got a great education, but it wasn't a chiropractic education. And I want to open it up to the students because they come to the DCS meetings, and that's where they get their dipping of philosophy. But we always end up talking in the middle of the night till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning about their frustrations with the colleges. And I just want to kind of get this info out there because, I mean, I don't think things will ever change unless people really understand what's going on at the schools. So, Grateful Dead, tell me first what you think the schools are doing right.
What schools are doing right is they are giving us a base knowledge of what we should be doing in the profession itself, as far as understanding anatomy of the body, as well as how things work. But I think what we do is we do too much of the medical model and not nearly as much of the chiropractic model as we should be doing. The problem is that we're trying to show everybody, especially the medical community, how much we know about their profession, and we have forgotten to show us about our profession. It's lent us to an identity crisis, even worse than we already are in, because the chiropractors that are in school, the students that are in school, have no idea what chiropractic is. And it's really, really unfortunate to be in the situation we are in and to not be taught what we're supposed to be learning. I mean, school is so expensive as it is, and it's just so frustrating to have so many resources outside of school like this, and to know where we want to be, and then go to school and it's just completely different. It's not even close.
And see, when I went to school, I didn't have that frustration because I didn't know any better. When I went to school, I didn't ever hear, subluxation. I didn't hear philosophy. It wasn't until 2 years after school that I started to get the philosophy. So, and I don't want students to have to go through that unless they want to. I mean, if they're happy with their education, I'm not there to change that. But my objective is to make sure that we're going to start really focusing on sending students to schools that promote chiropractic, because I don't want a profession of people that don't even believe in what I do anymore. Livewire, what's your verbiage here?
No, I totally agree. We get such a medical model based education. I think the main problem is, along with this medical model, we never tie it back into how we as chiropractors can work our way into it. So,
well, the problem is, does the school even, or do the teachers even know the fact that the subluxation can cause?
No, it never gets to that point. It comes down to the diagnosis and what we can do, outside of chiropractic. So who do we refer to? And we forget about what we're there to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
totally. If I can jump in real fast, I think one of the issues that we have is there's no cohesion within the schools. The issue with the schools right now is there's no unified vision, even within the school. You could have 3 classes which are teaching relatively the same subject, and you'll get 3 completely different approaches on how you do it. And the issue is, even with the schools, adjustment is like 5th or 6th on the list, if it's even on the list at all. The thing that makes us unique and makes us amazing as a profession, they aren't even highlighting to...
What are they highlighting?
They're highlighting PT. So we basically go to PT schools. And there's nothing wrong with physical therapy. There's nothing wrong with trying to rehab the body. But there's a problem with it when you don't focus on what makes us unique and what makes us
totally. Which is the nervous system. You're not stretching muscles.
And it's to the point where even some of my professors have expressed doubt that we can even affect things like ear infections with kids. And it's just some of the stuff that we hear is so incongruent with everything else. I mean, it's just, you're so lost. You have a 5,000 piece puzzle that you're getting all the different little pieces, but you have no idea what the puzzle is showing.
Right. Now, your second term, Red Hot, you haven't really, you got introduced to DCS early. And how has that changed your perspective while you're at school?
Well, I came from the East Coast, so I was able to go in the beginning.
Okay, good.
Meet a bunch of guys out there, so I had my philosophy in my head, or what I wanted to do in my head before I got to school. And which is good and bad, because I know what's out there, and I don't know what chiropractic is about, and what chiropractic offers to the public. And there's a lot of students in my term who, they come to school not knowing what the heck chiropractic is.
Sure.
And they're kind of lost and they're looking for direction, which way to go. And I know the direction and I know which way they should go, but the school is leading them down the wrong path. So for me, you know, I sit there in class all day just like these guys, and I get the anatomy and the extremities and physical therapy / you know, chiropractic procedures classes. And you never hear really about chiropractic. You know, they have all these opportunities when we're in the lab to say, look at the amazing intelligence of the body, and look what this thing is capable of, even without us laying a hand on it.
Right.
And all we do is, you know, in our society is screw it up, and we're the people who can go out there and make it better, and teach people the right way to live and the right way to be. And as students, you know, we're fresh minds. We can be, you know,
Pushed one way or the
we
other.
can be pushed one way or the other, and if they would just, you know, lead us down the path of chiropractic, you know, we could
Or
change
at
the
least
world.
maybe offer both to give people, if you want to be more of a metapractor, I can't think of a better term than metapractor. Can you?
No.
Than a chiropractor. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. My issue is that we're going to be turning out all these students that have zero faith in chiropractic
Right.
because they were never introduced to chiropractic, which I don't feel is fair. Maybe give them an introduction to what chiropractic is, and then give them an introduction to the metapractic kind of idea and concept, and see, because once people, like the students, come to DCS, they're pretty much,
We don't leave.
they don't leave.
Yeah.
And you guys, I'm not saying this to, you know, thump my chest or anything, but I guarantee you, how do you guys feel your success compared to your classmates is going to be?
It's not even close. It's not even close. I mean, the confidence I have going into this profession, and I know how to talk to anybody on the street at any time and explain to them what it is we do and why we do it and why it's important for them. And I think there's such a disconnect with our other classmates, and what I'm able to do is they can't even explain to the people that are coming into them what we're doing. And I
Plus,
say
they don't even know what to
they
explain.
don't know what to explain. They don't know how to relate to the nervous system. All they can relate to is mechanistic. This muscle hurts. This bone hurts. Let me put it back in place. Let me see you 4 times, and then on your way.
Right.
I'll tell you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I came into school exactly that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that way.
Exactly the way he just explained, that very mechanistic model of, you know, it hurts here, let's adjust it until, let's
The pain goes away.
it until the pain goes
Or
away,
say
and
adjustment.
then we're good. But it's not until you understand that philosophy that we got here that you really understand the value that you're giving, you know, through your hands.
Did it take one time you coming here for you to get the light, or did it take multiple times?
2 years ago, Cal Jam, that was it. That was it for me. It clicked right away. I came back to school.
But did you come into DCS?
No, I hadn't come to DCS yet. Me, 2 other students went because Jeannie Ohm was talking, Martha Nessler. Martha Nessler was talking at school, gave away 2 Cal Jam tickets. I decided to pay for my own. Went there, and it was, you know, the best $99 I ever spent.
I hope so.
And you know, you come back to school that next Monday, and
it's probably
and
tough.
you kind of just get the weird looks, like,
Because you got that big glow around you.
yeah, like, what did you find? And then you start telling them, and then, I mean, we consistently, brought 15 people here from my term the whole time, you know, so it's that big change.
Yeah. He and I are very connected. I want to give a big shout out to Martha Nessler because she was actually the first one I saw here at the DCS Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because, you know, you're saying he went to DCS. Well, he went to Cal Jam, mine was DCS. The minute I went to my first DCS, I was like, this is where I need to be. It became very clear to me at that point that there's 2 educations that we get within chiropractic. There's the education we get in school, which is solely designed for us to pass boards.
Right.
That is the sole
And
education.
they do a good job. Right. I mean, I'm saying we because I went to school.
And then there's
They
the
do
other
good
side, of chiropractic, which is true chiropractic, which we must seek outside on our own. And it takes a lot of effort, I'm not gonna lie. You have to really expose yourself and surround yourself with these very successful, powerful people. But I think the stigma of philosophy is everybody relates philosophy with
quackery or
and weird, you know, like we're gonna hug trees and hold hands and sing kumbaya, and that's not it at all. And the message that's lost is philosophy is why are we doing what we're doing?
Exactly.
What is the point of
It ties it all together.
It ties it all together.
Now, let me ask you guys a question, and I'm going to answer this first. Why is it that some of the students are so gung-ho to be here, and then the other ones are so apprehensive? Because of the same thing, they think you're coming to hug trees.
Trees and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, I think,
I didn't say your name, did I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
All right, Jake.
We're gonna bleep that one out.
Just continue. You had 10 minutes.
Okay. So
This is good, though.
I think really the reason is because they've never been exposed in any way to chiropractic philosophy. So you know, when they hear the word philosophy, they just start thinking tree hugger, weirdo, you know, third dimension, whatever. They never start to think that the philosophy could actually be so simple,
Right.
and so powerful.
Right.
And so that's why I think, you know, if we do get them here, when they do come, they're like, holy crap, this is awesome and this is powerful, and that's why they get hooked, because
Right.
once you hear the message,
Dude.
you can't deny it.
That's like
Well, so I heard it again because I went to chiropractic school after thinking I knew the message, and then I went to school and I got that all taken away and turned into a back pain doctor, and then I had to be re-dipped. So I mean, once you see the light, it's hard to go back to being a back pain doctor. I mean,
Right.
anything you guys want to say in closing?
Yeah, I'll start out. I would say it doesn't really, I guess it does matter, but it doesn't really matter where you go to school.
Yeah, but see, I don't dig that because I want to support the schools that are promoting chiropractic. I don't want to support schools that are and literally destroying our profession because you're pumping out all these people
True.
that don't believe in chiropractic, and then we're not going to have a chiropractic profession. We're going to have a PT profession.
True.
So
We can't support the schools that don't support chiropractic.
So
Go
I
ahead.
guess if you were in a situation like me where you don't know about it to begin with,
Right.
It ended up being a place that I found that I would say the word that I like to use is it made me a rebel, and
Sure, good.
I was proud of it. And you know, there was a group of us that were rebels, and then you just spread it around. And if you have that opportunity to pick a great school to go to, and you know where you're going to begin with, you know, we know where to send you. But
Okay,
if you didn't
In
have,
your opinion,
I would go to Life West if I
Okay.
had to do it again.
I would say the same exact thing, and then I would say Sherman.
Yeah, I've never been
have
there.
anybody else, any other?
It's funny, there was a Facebook post the other day with a chiropractor who's back east who was, you know, shouting out and saying, hey, I have a CA who's looking to go to schools, and said if they have recommendations. Out of all the schools they could have picked, there were 3 schools that was unanimous. I mean, there was like 50 posts. 3 schools. Life University in Georgia, Life West.
I was going to say, okay.
Those are the only 3 schools that people were recommending.
Yeah, and if you're out of country, they said go to New Zealand
or
and
Barcelona.
Close second was Barcelona.
Yeah, those were the schools.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
But I
basically
mean, if you get caught in a situation where you find
when you're changing like a
chiropractic
desk at
in
LACC.
second, yeah, where you change in second term or third term, like you just got to stand out, like, you know, be a rebel.
But
Do
we've talked to some students that have actually transferred from LACC to go to.
Yeah, people.
Well, I mean, they want to get what they're supposed to get, in our humble opinion, and they're not getting that. Anything else in closing?
You want to go?
Just one thing, since we were talking about Cal Jam, we didn't give a shout out to Carolyn Griffin, so I want to say
Oh,
say
yes!
thank you to her. Because even in my class as a first termer, we brought 15 people from that class thanks to her.
Good job.
So yeah, just want to say thank you to her and thank
What
you.
do you think
to
about
also.
putting Caroline on the stage here?
Absolutely.
All right,
She's right.
yeah.
Now, in closing for me, I want to convey everybody, because I think this is mostly going out to the doctors and the students. It is imperative for you to
What
start
about the deans at the colleges?
Well, for the deans that are out there, understand that we are hungry for it, and if you produce a good product,
Yeah, exactly.
you never
never
have to
people.
worry about going to get people, and we want it, and we crave it, and, you know, I think we're in the greatest profession that you can ever have. I mean, I can't imagine myself doing anything else than what I'm doing. I love what I do, and it took a lot of work for me. I was very driven myself to seek out people like Billy and all these different people. A lot of students don't know about this stuff. A lot of students don't know about Kale Jam and DCS and, you know,
Kale Jam?
Cal Jam. No, Cal Jam. Okay? So the problem is that we don't know of these things, so it's up to you, doctors, to take some students and sponsor them to come. Or let them know that it's coming. You know, help them out, because there's so many students that don't know about these things, and it's really the true education, and we don't see it getting any better anytime soon. So it's going to be in our own hands to figure it out and save this profession.
Yep. Okay, in closing, I want to mention I just did a hiring for a CA, and I had a doctor of chiropractic come in and apply for the job. And I mean, I just knew this person probably is going to be, it's going to be very hard for that person to be successful, because I mean, he had no direction, no understanding of what chiropractic was, and he was just like, he's probably just wallowing in his student loans, and it's like it's sad to see people go and spend all that money in 3 or 4 years of your life and commitment to that, and then get out of school and not be successful. I mean, my goal is everybody gets out of school and just we go out and save the world, and that's the way it should be. But we're not going to go out and save the world if we're just going to be referring everybody out and we're just back pain doctors. And we need to be strong chiropractors to take this message to the world, and that's our objective with this. Is we want to really strengthen the profession, not bring it down. And as we always say,
Rock and roll.
rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
See you next week.